What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning we're here, thanks to BettingPros.com. Wherever you get your audio for audio podcasts, you can find the Daily Juice video always on YouTube to get us for this very fun everyday podcast here in 2021, rapidly heading towards 2022. It is the holiday season. It is the gift buying season. If you guys like the Daily Juice, I am sporting a Daily Juice t-shirt. We have Daily Juice hoodies. We have Daily Juice hats. We got all sorts of fun stuff that I wear here that you can buy for that Daily Juice fan in your life. Or why not buy it for yourself, right? FantasyPros.com/shop is where to get in. FantasyPros.com/shop, and you will be able to go and shop your heart's content with all of our fun little things we've got going on. T-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and fun stuff with the hats and everything else for the Daily Juice. So if you don't have some of your gear, why not get some of the gear? And if you do buy a t-shirt for yourself or somebody else, definitely screenshot it or send me a link or take a picture or whatever, and I will share it either in the Discord channel or on my Twitter account. We will share all the fun, festive stuff with everybody to show off your gear, your wherever you may be wearing it in this great world of ours. And we have international people. I think it ships internationally. I don't know how many different countries we ship to, but Canada, Mexico, I think, right? At least in the 50 states for the U.S. I do know that. We do ship there for us. So fantasypros.com/shop to get in, and then to go and search Daily Juice. This t-shirt always is normally one of the hottest sellers. So normally it's under best sellers. You can see the Daily Juice t-shirt up and about, and you guys can be sporting that gear for the holiday season or for 2022. All right, so last night, 1-1, we get the Northern Illinois plus 10.5 right, both the dogs in the bowl games. Is that a trend to pay attention to? Underdogs 2-0 against the spread. We were way wrong with Toledo. MTSU smacked them around. Big win for MTSU. They were heavy underdogs, 10.5 point dogs, and they won the game outright. So big win there for MTSU in Middle Tennessee State. So 1-1 down the juice, so losing day, but really not that big of a day. 2 half-a-unit bets, so tiny little down, basically just completely flat. Okay, welcome to the most insane NFL betting weekend of the year. We were supposed to have Raiders, Browns, and then Patriots, Colts. We will not have Raiders, Browns now, as that game has now been moved to Monday night. So we have a doubleheader on Monday night. We also have a doubleheader on Tuesday. So we've got NFL football on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay? You know I like betting the NFL, and we're getting to the end of the season. So while it is bowl season, and while I will be involved in certain bowl games, and while the NBA is still going on, and the NHL is going on, and college football is going on, I'm going to primarily focus on football. Okay? I'm going to focus on the sports that I really enjoy, that I like betting on. We've just got a lot of things going on. The Circa Million team, I will post the Daily Juice picks coming up for the Circa Million team coming up in the Discord channel. And I'll give you my own personal team. Went 2-3 last week. My own personal team, it wasn't great. We went 4-1, 4-0, 4-1, 5-0, 2-3. So we were due for a cool down, and we definitely hit it, unfortunately, in the first week of the final quarter poll. So we're 2-3. We basically gotta go 5-0 the rest of the way if you want to have any shot at cashing in the money for the final quarter poll for the Circa Million. But Daily Juice, same thing. I think we went 2-3 for the Daily Juice picks, so we'll try to get rolling here for the Daily Juice picks as well here for us. On a Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Pacific time is the deadline, and I will be waiting all the way right before for all this COVID stuff. Who's playing, who's in, who's out. Okay, so for the most part, the game today, Patriots, Colts. COVID really hasn't been a big factor. Knock on wood, whatever you can knock on, okay? Here is this game between the Patriots and the Colts. Let's go through it, okay? I've got 2 plays to give you on this game coming up here today. Patriots are 9-4 against the spread. The Colts are 8-5 against the spread. The Patriots have won and covered 7 consecutive games. The Patriots are 6-2 against the AFC. They are 5-0 against the number over their last 5. 8-2 against the number over their last 10, and they are 5-1 on the road. The Patriots have been a better road team than a home team this year, in particular against the spread. Indianapolis is 8-5 against the number. They are 6-3 against the AFC. They have covered 2 times in their last 3 games. They have covered 7 times in their last 10, but they are 3-4 against the number here in 2021. Patriots have beaten Buffalo, Tennessee, Atlanta, Cleveland, Carolina, the Chargers, and the Jets during this stretch. The last time they lost, overtime at home to Dallas in a game that they could have won if Bill Belichick didn't punt the football back to Dallas in overtime. But different topic for a different day. He was being the anti-Brandon Staley, if you remember yesterday's podcast. Indianapolis, a little more of an up and down streak for them. They've still been playing pretty good. 4-1 over the last 5, beating Houston, losing to Tampa, beating Buffalo, beating Jacksonville, and beating the New York Jets. They lost at home last to Tampa and to the Titans. They've lost their last 2 home games outright. So the Patriots and Mac Jones head into this game up against Indianapolis, and everybody's wondering, what will the Colts do defensively? Everyone's assuming the Colts are going to try to take away the running attack, and no Damian Harris. He's out for this game for the Patriots due to the hamstring injury he suffered against Buffalo, so he's not playing. But you do have Ramondre Stevenson, you do have J.J. Taylor, and you do have Brandon Bolden for the Patriots. So are they going to stack the line? I don't know. I mean, are they? Or are they going to try to make the Patriots run the football and say, okay, we're comfortable being able to slow it down and then make it about Mac Jones? The logical theory is that the Colts are going to try to make it about Mac Jones. But here's the problem for the Colts. They are currently 25th in the NFL in rushing yards per attempt, 4.5. They are currently 16th in rushing yards per game given up, 111 yards a game on the ground. Patriots run the ball 4.2 yards per run, 123 yards and a half is 9th in the NFL for rushing yards per game for the Patriots. So they can run. They try to run. They ran the ball every time but 3 times against Buffalo, like we know. Last time we saw the Patriots before the bye, that's what they did. They ran the ball. They ran the ball right down Buffalo's throat. Now, will they do the same thing to the Colts? I don't know. But I definitely think the Patriots are going to test the Colts to see if, can you stop the run? Can you? Because numbers say you can't. So let's see what happens. Even without Harris, Ramondre Stevenson is a really good running back, and J.J. Taylor is sneaky. So maybe they're like, hey, we're good with these 2 guys. We work on it all during the bye, and we're going to have them up and running. And you know Belichick's going to have some wacko game plan for this game. It's just what he does during the bye week, okay? Now, the Colts have the number 1 running attack in the NFL. 5.1 yards per rush. Jonathan Taylor's a beast, right? 151 yards per game. Patriots on the other side, not that great, okay? 4.4 yards per run, 19th best. 114 yards per game given up, that's 18th best, okay? They are the toughest team to score rushing touchdowns in the NFL. Just 0.5 rushing touchdowns per game given up. So they're difficult to run. So be careful on those Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown props. Be careful about that. Here's the interesting thing about the Patriots and what I think they're going to do. All right, the Patriots have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, 15.4 points per game given up, 5.0 yards per play given up, that's 3rd best. They give up 310 yards of offense per game, that's 3rd best in the NFL. I think the Patriots are going to allow the Colts to move the ball between the 20s. I think this is a bend, don't break game. I think this is a game which the Patriots are going to try to make the Colts kick field goals and try to find. And I think if you find a prop for the Colts over 1.5 field goals, I think it's a good bet. And the Colts are kicking field goals in this game, okay? And I don't want to do that, but I think in the red zone, the Patriots are going to clamp down. This game, to me, is going to be decided upon Carson Wentz. Does Carson Wentz turn the football over? Yes or no? Carson Wentz, I mean, okay, giveaways a game, 1.2 giveaways per game. That's 11th, middle of the pack. Patriots, 2 takeaways per game, 3rd best in the NFL. Patriots have the number 1 interception thrown percentage in the NFL. Okay, they pick off 4.4% of passes that are thrown. That is bad news for Carson Wentz, a dude who has been known to throw picks and make bad decisions. The Patriots, I think, are going to try to bait him into red zone mistakes and try to get them to kick field goals or throw into double coverage and make mistakes. Okay, I think this is going to be a really low-scoring game. The total is creeping up. It was 45.5. It's now 46. Okay. The line has been creeping up slowly. It's been opened at 1.5 to 2 to 2.5. It may close at 3. There are a lot of professionals who are on the Colts. Okay, big pro money on the Colts. Hypothetically, let's just say they are right. Okay, let's just say they are right. I am going to go back to a bet that I have not made in a little while because I've been really wrong trying to find the totals. But this game to me screams same game parlay, same game teaser rather. Taking the Patriots from 2.5 to 8.5, and taking the total from 46 to 52 and betting the under. I just can't see this game being a real high scoring game, and I think we're looking at like a 23-20 final. I think it's a tight game, one way or the other. Now, I will have a personal play on the Patriots money line, but I'm going to wait and see how much value I can get out of this. Because if it goes to 3, we may get plus 125, 130, somewhere in that range for the Patriots on the money line. I think the Patriots are very much alive to win this game. I think they're going to have chances to win this game. The Colts, I think, are going to be in it as well, and it will come down to Carson Wentz having to make a play or two. I think this is going to be a barn burner of a football game. I just don't see it being high scoring, even though it is in prime time. That does scare me. Obviously, like prime times are Patriots off a bye, but both these teams are going to try to run the football, and I think that's going to be a running clock situation. So while I like the Patriots money line, and I will be on that, I'm going to take the 2.5 points. I'm going to tease it up to 8.5. I'm going to take the total from 46, and I'm going to go under. My fear is this. And you may go, Matt, wait, it's a 46 total. Why not pull it down to 40 and take the over? Maybe, but I also could see a 17-14 game. Okay, I know it's indoors, but I just have this sneaking suspicion that the Colts defense is going to try to really confuse Mac Jones, and I'm not sure the Patriots are going to put up a lot of points here in this game. Patriots are averaging 26.9 points per game. There's just something that tells me coming out of this that the Colts defense is going to be able to be physical enough with Patriots to slow them down offensively. Again, they're 9-4 straight up, but if you look at the Patriots point totals, yes, they scored 36 points against Tennessee, 25 points against Atlanta, and 45 points against Cleveland. But generally speaking, this is an offense that scores somewhere between 13 and 27 points, okay? Somewhere in that range. So if they score 27 points and they get to 27-24, that's 51. We're at 52. We're okay. But it also could be a 14-10 game, even though it's indoors, okay? It also could be a very low-scoring game. And I know the Colts haven't played a ton of games like that this season, but I don't know. I don't know if we get over 40 points. I also could see like a 24-3 win for the Patriots. I know that sounds kind of nuts, but I think that's not out of the question when the Patriots win this game going away. The one thing I can't see is I can't see the Patriots getting blown out, which, again, I've been wrong before, okay? But I think this same game parlay our teaser is the way to go with this. I'm going Patriots plus 8.5. And I'm taking the total to 52, and I'm going to bet the under for 1 unit at minus 120. Now, I do have a second play, but it involves the Patriots. Again, because I think this game is going to be tight. I'm going to give the Patriots 8.5 points, okay? And I'm going to go to a teaser on Sunday, and I'm going to take a team I like and I have been liking for a while. I'm going to go against the market move here. It's Cincinnati at Denver. Cincinnati on the year, 6-7 against the number. Denver, 7-6 against the number. But Cincinnati on the road is 4-2 against the spread. Denver, 4-3 at home. Last 2 games, both losses for Cincinnati. They lost by 3 as 1-point dogs at home to San Francisco, and they lost by 19, laying 2.5 against the Chargers. Denver, up and down, 2-2 in their last 4. They beat Detroit by 28 points in their last game, but lost by 13 to Kansas City on the road. Beat the Chargers by 15, and then they beat Philly by 17 at home, which was kind of the shocker. Look, I think this could be a 3-point win for the Denver Broncos, but I'm going to tease this on the other leg, and I'm going to give Cincinnati 9 points. And I think Joe Burrow and company, even at altitude, going into Denver, I think they have a chance to stop this 2-game losing streak, okay? And again, on the road, they're 4-2 against the number, so I have a chance to pull this up to 9. and go Patriots plus 8.5, Cincinnati plus 9 for 1 unit. If you haven't gotten the theme here as to what I'm going to try to do, this is a very difficult, very tough week, okay? There are COVID problems all over the place. I don't know exactly how many straight bets I'll get involved with this week because it's so crazy. This is a monster teaser weekend. This is a monster, if you don't have to bet, you don't have to, just because it's going to be so chaotic and crazy. But I think on Saturday night, Patriots plus 8.5, I'm going to have 2 units on it. I got a lot riding on it. Obviously, if they get blown out by Indy, I'll be starting the week off on a really big hole, and I'll be trying to climb myself out of it coming up on Sunday. But those are the 2 bets here for the podcast. Patriots plus 8.5, under 52 teaser, same game. And Patriots plus 8.5, Cincinnati plus 9, all for 1 unit, minus 120 on both of those. I will have player props in the Discord channel before Patriots versus the Colts, okay? Field goals for the Patriots, over 1.5. We've been good with that, right? I think that's good. I think the Colts over 1.5 field goals also. I think that's good, okay? I think we're going to have a chance to get into some unders for Mac Jones potentially, maybe under passing attempts for Mac Jones, and maybe get into some anytime touchdowns. I'm not really sure, but we'll have definite plays for player props in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com, bettingpros.com/chat, or underneath me here on YouTube to get into that here on the video for the Discord channel. Okay, so let's have some fun on a Saturday. No Discord chat for the next until we get going in January because I got all sorts of things going on. It's the holiday season. Okay, we saw Santa Claus last night. It was cool. My daughter was all bright-eyed and wide-eyed and got a chance to see the big guy, and that was fun. So have a great holiday season. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a lot of NFL bets coming to you on the Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt. Every morning it's the Daily Juice podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.